Seven County Services. Before joining Seven County Services, our Chief Operating Officer, Dr. Liz McHugh, enjoyed a career in public health, working as part of a team to figure out how to increase access to high-quality health care. Welcome, Liz.
Thank you, Abby. I'm so happy to be here and part of this Stand Up for Recovery event. The need for substance use disorder treatment is alarming, but we know this fight is not hopeless. I want to continue today's program by introducing a few amazing individuals. First, it's my pleasure to introduce Tyrus Williams to the stage.
I arrived messed up. I didn't know where I was going to go. I didn't know where I was headed, but one thing I did know was I didn't want to be at 7 counties. For about 6 months prior to getting there, my life consisted of drinking heavily every day, using drugs every day. And 7 counties, in my honest opinion, nursed me back to life. While I was given proper care, nutrition, and medication, 7 counties also offered me the opportunity to speak with a psychiatrist, something I had been needing for a while. I started attending meetings, met a sponsor, worked the 12 steps of recovery, and my life began to gradually change. I found a job, which I have been employed there for 4 years to this day. I got my own place, and next month I'll be at my residence for 3 years. I want to thank 7 counties for putting me on that launching pad to being a success. And success for me is to be able to smile by looking at that man in the mirror today instead of having a frown on my face. Thank you.
We have another wonderful speaker with us who will share her journey through recovery with 7 counties.
My name is Lindsay, and I'm an addict, and I did get my start at 7 County Services. My journey was very pregnant. For the first time in my life, I was finally willing to go to treatment. And really, it was the best decision that I ever made. And I want to commend 7 counties for having opportunities like this, because I will tell you that there were times in my life where if I'd have had somewhere I could have took my child with me, if I'd have had somewhere that I could have went pregnant, right, I'd have went before I did. What 7 counties did for me through this is you all taught me some very valuable lessons. My life is completely different, and it is different in the best kinds of ways. I have recently completed my associate's degree. After 5 years, I was able to reunify with 2 of my older children. If I'd have died before I went to 7 counties, I probably would have had like 6 people at a funeral. Today, I couldn't tell you who was all gonna be there, but I can tell you it's gonna be full. And my life is full, so thank you.
7 Counties is here to be with individuals every step of the way. Someone who also knows this well is our next speaker, Lyle Hawley.
This is something that I never would have imagined in a million years, that a drunk like me would be up here telling my story of strength and hope. Alcohol and drugs has been my entire life. When I showed up at 7 Counties' doorstep, I was broken. I was defeated. I was real tired of the way I was living. And I thank God for 7 Counties because they taught me a new way to live. And I have had some acid tests along the way in my sobriety. I leaned on my support team. I had a cast of supporters out there in the street, which did me absolutely no good at all. So I had to flip this thing. I got a cast of supporters in recovery that got right behind me and they corralled me. They said, man, you can do this. I thank God for 7 counties, and it's working in my life right now today, and it's going to continue to work in my life because I'm not going to unplug from 7 counties.
Thank you, Lyle. We're so grateful you're here today to share your testimony. Thank you for standing up for recovery. It is now my pleasure to introduce my colleague, Derek Priester, the Vice President of Addiction Services.
Addiction recovery is a lifelong process. Through our variety of services, 7 counties helps over 4,000 people annually begin their road to recovery. We know that recovery is possible. We've seen it here today. If you also know that recovery is possible and are someone who has lived experience with substance use, I want to ask you to please stand up for recovery. Please.